Just give me a minute here. Please, are you seeing
Hello, Nana.
Are you seeing my R studio?
Yes, please, we are.
Okay. Please, yeah. Were you asking a question? Is someone asking a question?
Yeah, so I do not see the Algeria camera. It
Okay,
only
so
starts from
you South Africa. Okay.
South Africa. Okay.
All right. So yesterday we said that 1 + 1, okay? And then you run. You can either click run or use Control Enter. Okay, it will give you the same thing. So I explained the quadrants. Okay, so the one on the top left corner is where we do, it's like our test editor. This is where we enter our commands. We could also do 1 + 1 here in the console. Okay, we can do the 1 + 1 here in the console, like you see, and then run it. It will give me the same output. But the disadvantage is that as soon as I turn off R, I will lose everything that I've done in the console. Whilst if I had done it in the test editor, you could save. You can go to File, and then you can save. You can save the file and then use it later. All right? So that is why we use the R Studio and then type everything, all the commands in the test editor, and then execute it in the console. All right, so that's why if you are using only the console, as soon as you turn off R, that's it. Okay, you lose whatever you've done. All right, so that's what you do. Okay, so yesterday we saw 1 + 1 is equal to 2. Now, what we are saying is that if you have the value 1, if you have the value 1, okay, in terms of value assignment, okay. So I told you every time you are making a comment, make sure you bring the hashtag, okay? So R doesn't process it. It reads it as a comment, therefore there's no need to process it. So in terms of value assignment, when you have a numeric like 1, we can assign X to it, okay? When you are assigning X to it, we use what we call the gets arrow. It's the less than sign and the minus sign, okay? Less than sign and then the minus sign. So it becomes an arrow pointing to the left, okay? When you are done, you run it. So when you run it, it tells you that you have assigned X, or you have assigned the value 1 to X. So which means everywhere that R sees X, it sees 1. Okay, so now if I should type X, for instance, and then run it, you see that. Okay, let me run this one again. Let's run this again. Okay, and then I run X. You see that it gives me the value 1 in the console because I have assigned, X to the number 1. Okay, so that's what we are talking about here. That the get arrow, okay, to assign X to the value 1 is written as X get arrow. The get arrow is the less than sign on your keyboard, and then the minus sign. Okay, it forms an arrow, and then you assign. So whatever value you assign it to X, R will take it as that. Okay.
Hello, Nana.
Can you try it on your system, and let's see?
Hello, Nana.
Yes.
Please,
So,
is there
please, so if you want to ask as much as possible, because we are many, try and raise up your hand, and then I call you. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Please, is there a reason why you always space your values when you are putting it in the text editor?
Oh, just for readability.
Okay.
Yeah, for readability. So, like value assignment, I mean, we couldn't have done it like this. So just give it some space, okay? And then run it. Yes, Francis.
Yeah, Nana, good morning.
Good morning.
Please, with the assignment, do we only use the get arrow?
No, there are several ways of using the assignment, but for now, let's start with the get arrow. Let's build upon, let's start from the basis, then we go up. Okay, there are several ways you can assign arrows. You can assign values, okay? Okay. But what you need to understand is that X gets arrow 1. It's not the same as X is equal to 1. They are two different things altogether. All right? So please learn this right from the word go. Don't use equal to sign to do it. Other than that, when we are doing analysis later, you will run into problems. Okay? So use the gets arrow. Okay? So here, if we want to say that X is truly equal to 1, normally you use double equal sign, but we haven't gotten there yet. Yeah? So, don't use equal to, use get arrow. But there are other ways by which you can assign values. Okay. Please, any question? Any question? So have you run it on your system? Is it working fine? Yeah. Were you asking a question?
Yes. So going back to the R Studio, I wanted to understand a little bit of functionality of how the editor works.
Yeah.
So I realized that when you clicked on run, when you hadn't placed the cursor on the X, it gave you an error. It wasn't running. So normally, if you have a block of code, do you have to put the cursor on the last line, or what actually happens? That intricate part of it.
I don't get your question well.
Okay, so with the code earlier on.
Which one?
That you did.
This one.
With the please kindly type with the X there.
X is assigned to the
S
value
gets 1 as value 1, and then on the line 3 you wrote X.
Yes, I wrote X here. Yeah.
Okay, so if you place the cursor on line 4 and you click run.
No, there's nothing here.
Okay,
so there's nothing
that's
here.
what
So if you run it, it will give you nothing. So you have to put it to where you want to run it. Or if you want to run this line of code 2 and 3, you can just highlight all of them and then run it. Okay, so it will run everything you here. Okay. You can either do it as a block or you do it line by line. And then this one too, the running of the code, this one gives you you rerun the previous code. Okay, but for now, let's stay with just this run. Okay, we'll build upon it and then come to how you will use the others later.
Okay, and does it store the value in memory so that maybe, let's say right now that is as
So what R does is that right now we say that X is 1. Okay, now if we say that X is 2, okay, and then run it. Just a minute, I think. And then run it. Okay. What R does is that it stores the latest assignment to X. So now when I call X, it will no longer be 1. but it will be 2. Have you seen?
Okay.
Unless we assign, let's say, y to 2 and then run it. And then when we call y, it will be 2. All right. But if we use x, now if we call x again, it's going to be 2 because the last assignment for x was 2. All right. Unless right now we come and run it again to 1. And then when you call it now, it will be 1. So it stores the last assignment that you give to it. So if you don't want to, if you want to use different kind of assignment, then use different values for them. Okay. Yes,
Okay,
Christiana.
thank you.
Hello, please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Christiana. Please go ahead.
With my since it has given me a different interface. No, and I can't see where the run is, so I use the Alt and the Enter. Please, can you help me?
Okay, share your screen. Share your screen. Let's see.
Okay. Please, can you see now?
Yes, it's coming. Okay, so what you've done is that you are in the console. You are not in the terminal. So divide it. Yesterday we did this. So you see where the 2 small boxes are.
Yeah, this one.
Yes, click on it. Yes, so now do everything in the test editor.
So please, the upper right corner, why is it also appearing? But yours is not appearing over there.
You say?
This side.
This one.
The top.
Yes.
Left.
So
Yeah.
you have now entered the values. It has started storing them in your global environment. Okay. So you leave them for now. So come back to the test editor. Okay, and then assign 1 to x.
Okay.
So x gets arrow. 1. Yeah, run it. So now call x. Call x. And then run it again. So you see that it will give you 1. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So always when it changed, I have to use the small arrow to separate them.
Yes. So that is what assigns the value to it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you
That's
very
all.
much.
Okay. You're welcome. So that's what assigns the value to it. Please, any other question? Okay. So let's move on. Okay, so can you see my screen now?
Not yet, though. Okay, Nana.
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
I think I need to. Okay. All right. Okay, so now we've seen how we can assign. Yeah, the last is there an issue?
Yes, please. I just wanted to ask, when you call for the value, it appears first, 1 appears in a square bracket. I just wanted to know what that stands for.
Which square bracket? Share your screen. Let me see. I think I should.
When you call for X,
Yeah.
yes, there's a 1 in the square bracket.
Just a minute. Let me see. This one?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. What this one does is that it is telling you the output. So we can have several stuff, and then let's say we run this. Let me remove this. And then run the whole of this. So this, the 1 in the square bracket is telling you that the output has been done and 1 is the answer. Okay. This one also tells you that the output has been done and 2 is the answer. That's all. So don't worry too much about that.
Yes, please.
It tells you that that's the output.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Right. So let's move on. So let's look at the various objects that we have in R. Okay, let's look at the various objects that we have in R. Okay. Yeah, Mendeleev.
Yeah, Nana. So what you just explained, I did the same, but the outputs came out different.
Okay. Like how did it come out?
So it just came as the X gets arrow 1 after running it, after
Okay,
assigning.
let me see what you are talking about. Yeah. So what has happened? Yeah. So you've assigned it to 1. Yes. So if you want to know what X is, click on where X is and then run it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
I think I need to. All right, so let's move on. So let's look at what a scalar is. Okay, so what we did, for instance, I will look at various objects: a scalar, vector, matrix, array, data frame, list, and factors. So what we just did, assigning x to the value 1. So here, 1 is a scalar, or x is a scalar. Okay, so this refers to the atomic quantity that can hold only one value at a time. So if we say that y is equal to 2, it's a scalar. Okay, it's just 1 unit. Okay, so scalars are the most basic data types that can be used to construct more complex ones. Okay, so if you assign all this, x is equal to 8 here, it's a scalar. A is equal to 2, it's a scalar. Okay, so let's see how we can do some of this. Okay. So let me go back to R. So scalar, so all these are all scalar objects. Okay. So all scalar objects. And then if you want to so these are the atomic quantities. Okay. The comments. Okay. So if we say x is, we assign x to, let's use another. We can assign d, okay, to 10. Okay, and then run it. Right. So when we call d, 10 comes. So this is a scalar. Okay. If you want to, you can also assign, so for instance, if you want to know the class where this belongs to, okay, because these are numbers, okay. So if you want to use the class, you use the class function, okay. Okay, and then find out what d is. Okay, when you click it, it tells you that it is a numeric data. Okay, so you can, if you are not sure, okay, you can check it. Okay, so let's say we assign t Okay, let's assign C. Let's assign C to Christiana. Okay, now this is a test. Okay, it is not a number. So every time you are entering a test in R, we use the inverted comma. Everything has to be put in inverted comma. Okay, so Christiana. Okay, so when we run it, it tells us that C is Christiana. So wherever we call C, okay, Christiana appears. All right. Now, supposing I say X is Stephanie. Okay. S is Stephanie. And then I don't put it in inverted comma. Okay. Let's see the message that it gives to us. It throws an error. Okay. Because this is a test and it should be put in inverted commas. All right. It should be put in inverted commas. So every time you are entering a test, make sure that you put it in inverted commas like we did for Christiana. All right. Please, any question on this? So this one will throw an error. Throws an error. Okay, because it is not in inverted commas. Any question? Any question? So this also means that you see that we said earlier on that X is 1. Okay, the value S has been assigned to the value 1. Sometimes it might be numeric. Okay, you can see a number, but the number is not numeric. It is a test. Okay, so in that case, you put the 1 in inverted commas. So let's say B is, okay, let's still use the, okay, let me use B. Okay, so B is 1. Okay, now when I run it, okay, and then I want to know the class of the B. Okay, I want to know the class of the B. Guess what? It tells you that it is a character, it is a test, it is not a number. Why? Because we put it in inverted commas. So it is not every number that is numeric. It depends upon the context. Okay. Sometimes you might have a data set whereby, let's say you have the days in there. You could see that you have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, up to Saturday. Okay. It could be written as Sunday and so forth. However, you could have a data set where 1 represents Sunday, 2 represents Monday, 3 represents Wednesday, and so forth. Okay, so you have the 7 days. So 7 represents Saturday. So in that case, you cannot, when we are using 7, it is not in the context of a number. You're just using the 7 as a symbol to represent something. Please, does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes,
you should know the context within which you are using it. So for instance, if I say that, let me give you a typical example. So let's say the first one we did, we said that X is 1 and then Y is 2. All these are numbers, yeah? As if you check the class of X, you check the class of X, it is a number, numeric. Let's check the class of Y. It's also numeric, isn't it? Okay, so which means since both of them are numeric, we can actually add X to Y. Yeah, and then it should give us 3, isn't it? Because X is 1 and Y is 2. Is that not it? So you see that it's giving us 3 here. Please, do you follow? Okay. Now, if we should add X to B, okay, so this one works because they are all numeric. Now let's check X and B. Okay, so we take X and then we add B. Remember that B is a character. Do you remember? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So when we run this, you see that it throws an error because B is a character. It is not a number. So we can't add it to a number. Okay. So those are the things you should be mindful of. Yes, yeah. Any questions?
Yes. So going back to the character, if let's say you want to write something like Stephanie but in quotes, how then do you do it?
Stephanie?
In quotes. Like you are writing a long word. So
yeah.
For instance, you are writing a long word.
So Stephanie is a student, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so we use X, okay? Gets arrow. And then we put everything in inverted commas. So Stephanie is a student. Yeah, and then we run it. So every time you call X, okay, you will have that message there. Any questions? Oh, sorry. So it's Stephanie. Sorry, I did a mistake here.
I think you were saying that if you want to put the student in inverted commas itself.
Just a minute, I'm coming. Please, one thing at a time, okay? Okay, yeah. What were you saying?
I was saying that, so with this statement, Stephanie is a student. The word student, I want to put the student in inverted commas and submit all to the S. Is there a way, does R allows that?
I don't understand. So you say if you want to put the student in inverted commas.
Yes.
Okay. Do you mean something like this? Like the student itself is in inverted commas?
Exactly, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think it should work. Okay. Let me change this to 1. Yeah. So you see that it's working.
Okay, so in that case, you have to use a single quote.
Yeah, so in that case, you use a single quote.
Thanks.
All right. So please, any other question? So these are the scalars. Okay, you can use scalars. So scalars basically give us the atomic quantity of the object. So let's move on to another class, another object known as the vector. Kindly put off your microphones, okay? I'm getting so much feedback here. All right, so a vector is a sequence of data elements of the same data type. Okay, so we've looked at numbers, we've looked at characters. We'll look at a logical vector very soon. So for instance, if we have, so what this means is that when you have a vector, please, can you turn off your microphone? I'm using a headset, so I'm getting so much feedback. Please, can you identify the person who's...
Oh, Edwin, kindly mute.
Oh, please. I told you yesterday. All right, let's move on. So, for instance, so a vector is a collection of data types that should be the same. All right. So if you want to put in R, if you want to write a vector, let's say O, okay, we assign it to, whenever we are creating a vector in R, we use C, and then we put everything in the bracket. So as soon as you bring C and then a bracket, everything in it becomes part of the vector. Okay, so you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so when we run this, okay, this is a vector. Okay, so when you call O, okay, it will give you the elements within the vector. All right, so this, because all of these are numbers, we call this a numeric vector. A numeric vector. Okay, so with a vector, you cannot have like a text and then a number in the vector. No, it's either they are all tests or they are all numbers. All right. Please, any question on this? So this is a numeric vector. So let's see another type of vector. Okay. Let's see another type of vector. Let's see a character vector. Okay. So let's represent this by P. Yeah. So because it's a vector, you start with a C, put everything in a bracket, and then we can say, because it's a character, okay, we put everything in inverted commas. So can say 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so I want everything to be 7. So let's add 1 to this to make it 7, and then we run it again. Okay, and then let's run our P again. Okay, so this is what a character vector. Okay.
Nanama, please mute.
Nanama, please mute yourself.
Okay, so this is a character vector. Okay. Please do follow. Any questions on this? So, yes, Emmanuel.
Okay, sir. I was trying my hands on what you were just saying, but because I was not looking on the Zoom and was typing same in the R, I started with the inverted comma and then ended the whole thing with the inverted comma, not doing each single word, not placing every single word in the inverted comma, but I ended up having the same thing. So I don't know whether that's the alternative to this.
Okay, I don't know what you did. Let me see where you are.
There was only one inverted comma, and all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 7 was in there. Just the comma, just one inverted comma. But the output was the same.
For the P?
For the P, say. Yes,
Let
please.
Let me see.
Okay.
So once it's working, then that's it.
Okay, that is it. For the P. Hello, sir.
Just a minute. Okay.
Okay.
So you put everything within that.
Yes, please.
I think you should run
okay.
first.
This is okay, but based upon what we are going to do, it's seen. So this will see it as like one sentence. Okay.
Oh, okay.
This is going to
Okay,
see it as one sentence, and based upon what we are going to do down the line, it might worry you.
Okay. Okay.
So
Sir.
it depends upon. This is correct, but it depends upon the context you are using it.
Okay.
So use it for each and every one of them. We will do something down the line. So other than that, this might worry you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Please, any other issue?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Solomon.
I did exactly what you did, but
okay, so change it.
Down the console, I have mine in inverted commas for every single.
For every single one. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So my understanding is that if you if in the console it has done for each and every one of them, then that is fine. Because if it hadn't done it that way, then it will see the whole thing as one sentence, and based upon what we are going to do down the line, it might affect you. So you can either change it or keep it, and then as you get down the line, if it worries you, then you can come back and put everything in inverted commas for each and every one of them.
Okay, sir.
Okay, please, any other?
Please, can you hear me? My hand is up.
Yes, please go ahead.
Please, I want to see your screen. I want to ask question from your screen.
On my screen, yeah. All
yes,
right.
please.
So just a minute.
But please, should it always be there should be a space, or you can just put them together when you are typing?
So this one is for clarity. Okay.
Okay.
So that you can see what you are doing.
Okay.
You don't necessarily have to bring a space.
Okay. And always should be in, is it a double quote?
Yes, the text has to be in double quotes.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Yeah. Okay, so let's do.
Please, my hand is up.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see. Please go ahead.
Please, with the vector, please. Yeah. Did you run it?
The numeric vector.
Yes.
Yes, you have to run it, and then it will give you the output.
The output.
Yes, the output will be done in the console.
Yes, I can see the output is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes, so let's okay, you mean when I added the 7? I think when I added the 7 is when the questions started coming in. So let's run it again. It should be 7.
So please, with if I'm to understand with the vector, meaning O is equal to all these numbers.
Yes, so everything in the vector, okay, O has been assigned to O. So whenever you call O, okay, so let's say when we run O right now, it should give us all the elements in the vector. So whatever you have in the brackets are the elements of the vector. Okay, so this is a numeric vector with 7 elements. Okay, so when you run it, it gives you all the elements in the vector. As well as P, when we run it, it gives us all the elements in the vector. So when we call P and then we run, okay, it gives us all the elements within this vector. Okay. Let's do another type of vector. Okay, let's have Q. Okay. So here, there's a logical vector or a Boolean. Okay. Okay. So here, we don't put it in, so with the logical values, we don't put them in inverted commas. Okay. So true, false, true. Okay, comma. true, false, false, false. Okay. So when you have something like male, female, okay, it's a logical vector, okay, it's a Boolean, okay, it's like you choose between one of them, right? Okay, so true, false, 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 and true, these are all logical values. Okay, so we call this a logical vector. What is a logical vector? So let's run this. Just a minute here. Okay, and then when you call kill, okay, it gives you the elements within the vector. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Please, yes, yeah, you were asking a question.
Yeah. So with what you just did, the question that came to mind was, is R case sensitive?
Yes, R is case sensitive. Very, very case sensitive.
Okay.
Okay. Very, very. Okay. All right. So let's say we call kill. Okay. So you see that it's telling us that kill cannot be found. Have you seen?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can see. Thank you.
Okay. So if we want to call all of them at the same time, we can call O.
My hand is up.
Okay. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So for logical vector, can we say yes or no is a logical vector?
Yes.
All right. Okay.
So P. So we can call all of them at the same time. We use the column, okay, semicolon. O, P, Q. Okay. And then you call all of them at the same time. You see that that's given us. So based upon the arrangement, it will give you the output as such. So here we see the numeric vector, the character vector, and also the logical vector. Yeah.
Please, can I ask a question?
Yes, please do.
Please, sorry. What exactly is the difference between the character and the logical vector? I'm asking because I realize the logical vector is also words, but it doesn't have the
inverted commas.
Yeah, the inverted commas.
Yeah, so the logical vectors are the ones that like makes you like how do I explain this? Like you have two categories, okay?
Okay.
You have categories that you are choosing from. Okay, so
okay.
it could be male, female, those kind of things. Okay.
Okay.
And normally with logical vector, with true, false, you don't put them in inverted commas. Okay, so true, false, they are. So you see that
yes, you don't put the inverted commas.
So as soon as you put true in inverted commas, it becomes a test.
Okay.
All right. So you see that this one is blue in color, quite different from the other one.
Okay, sure.
Yes, Archie.
Thank you.
Yeah. So in this case, assuming we want to put let's say yes, no, and then maybe, can we add a third option as a logical vector, just to know?
Okay, so with this one, the true and the false, these ones are recognized in the RUtils package, okay, as logical vector. Now we cannot add them here because they may be and stuff like that are not within the RUtils package that has been seen as a logical vector. But when we come to factors, okay, we can categorize our how do you call it? Our objects based upon the specifics that we have. Okay. So for now, let's stick with our true and false, because that is what R recognizes. Okay. Then when we come to a place where we are specifying what we want to do, then we'll do that. We'll come to factors very soon, and then you see how it works. Okay.
All right, sir.
So for now, let's stay with this. Okay. All right. So any other
Hello.
other? Yes.
For the logical vector, the true or false. Initially, they were in sentence cases. That is, the first letter was in capital, then the rest were. But then I realized when I ran it, it didn't. There was an error.
So you put everything in caps.
I changed them to caps. So does it mean that all logical vectors?
So that is what R recognizes.
Okay,
so you see, I just said that you can, the true, for instance, you could say something as true like this. Okay.
Yeah.
It's a test. Okay.
Okay.
It will see it as a test. Okay. Even if I do it true, okay, true like this, you see, if I don't put in inverted commas, it see this as a logical vector because it is programmed to be like that. But as soon as I put it in inverted commas, it changes from this. It cannot be a logical vector again. Okay. It changes to something else. Okay. Yeah.
So the one in caps is already part of the package.
Yes, it's programmed in R. So that's why the color turns to blue. Okay. So R will see it straight away. So we are not putting, that's why we don't put it in inverted commas. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Okay. All right, so let's move on to something else. Okay. So that is the logical vectors. Okay. So let me shuffle and then go here. So we see it here. Yeah. So let's go on to a matrix. What do we mean by a matrix? Please, can you see my slides?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here, we are talking about collection of data that is arranged in two-dimensional layout. Okay, so it is rectangular in form. Okay, so like you see here that after we've given the matrix command, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, one is vertical and then one is horizontal. Okay, so it is like a rectangle kind of. Okay, so this is a two-dimensional. Okay, it's in 2 dimensions. Okay, so this is talking about a matrix. Okay, all right. So it's same as a vector in the sense that everything within the matrix should be of the same data type. Okay, so just like a vector whereby it can either be numeric, character, or logical, a matrix is also like that. Everything within it should be numeric, character, or logical. You cannot have it mixed. If it is mixed, it becomes something else. Okay, which we will see later. Okay, so let's create a vector, and out of this, develop a matrix and see how it works. Okay, so let's go back to R, and then we do a matrix. Okay, so it should be of the same character. Okay, so creating a matrix. All right. Okay, so here, let's represent this by M. So it's like everything that we have in the slide is what I'm trying to repeat here. Okay, so let's create a vector, a numeric vector. Okay, 1, 2, 3. There are so many ways to write this, but I'm starting from the basics, okay, so that we can all follow. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so let's create a vector first. So we've created a vector, all right? So now what we want to do is so we've created a vector and named it M, right? We have assigned M to this vector. So out of this, let us develop a matrix, okay? So let's call this T, okay? So T, we give the matrix command. So the matrix command is given by the matrix function. So R, what you need to understand is that we have something we call the utils package. Okay, so when I click on packages here, you see the quadrant, the right bottom quadrant, okay? I've clicked on my packages, it's running now. There are a lot of packages that comes with R. When you downloaded your R yesterday, it came with some basic package, okay? So this basic package is what we are working with. Now, as we go along and then we add more packages, there are so many libraries where we can download and then access these packages. Okay, so what you are working with. So what you can see here are the packages I am using. So I have, because yours is just new, you will not have more packages like I do. I have more packages than you because I've used this for a while. Okay, so that is what we are using now. Okay, all right. So okay, so this is, have you seen the system library? Have you seen that the base package has been checked? Okay, so this is what you are using now. Okay, you can check it from your packages. When you go there and then you go to the system library, you can see that the base package. So that is where we are getting all these functions from. So there are other functions, it doesn't come with the base package. We will have to import it into R by using the libraries. We will install all these packages and then it becomes part of your system library. Is that okay? So here we use the matrix function. Okay. So what are we applying the matrix on? We are applying the matrix on this vector M. Okay, so M. Okay, and then the matrix has rows and columns. Okay, so what is the number of rows we want to have? So the rows goes horizontally and then the columns go vertically. Please, do you understand? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we have created a vector from 1 to 12 and want to create a matrix. So give us the number of rows we want in this matrix. Let's say we want it to be 4. So we have an argument. Okay, so there's an argument with this function known as n row. That's the number of rows. Okay, so n row is equal to, we want 4 rows. Okay, and then the number of columns, we want 3 columns. So n cols. Okay, n cols is equal to 3. And then how do you want the matrix to be counted? Should it be counted by row or should it be counted by a column? For now, let's count it by row. So there's an argument in this matrix called by row. Okay, then you set it to either true or false. Okay, so if you want it to count by rows, that means you want it to count horizontally. Okay, set this one to true. Okay. Now, if you want to know the details of this matrix, you can go to help here on the right-hand side, lower column. Okay, you click on help and then you can, in the search, you can type matrix, the matrix function. Okay, and then enter. So it gives you access to our documentation. Okay, so you see that you have matrices here. Okay, so it gives you information on how to use the matrix. Okay, so you have the data. So our data was the M, have you seen? And then the number of rows, number of columns by row, Okay, dim names, we've not done it yet, so forget about this. We don't necessarily have to use everything within the matrix function. The ones that you need to use are the ones you use. Okay, so have you seen? So this is what we are doing here. So we have the data that is represented by the M. Okay, so you see the data here. All right. Okay, and then we have the number of rows. We have specified the number of rows. We have specified the number of columns, and then we have specified how it should be counted. Okay, so if we run this now, okay, I'm getting an error. Okay, let's see what is happening. Unused argument encode is equal to 3. Let me see.
I think that the
oh,
end
sorry,
code we added
there is no X here. So it's number of columns. So let's run it again. All right, so now you also keep an eye on the global environment. Okay, have you seen that T is being recorded here on the global environment? Okay, so when I call T now and then run, it gives me the matrix. Okay, so let's see how this matrix is done. So we specified I wanted the number of rows to be 4. So let's count the rows. You see that it has 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. The number of columns were 3. So you see at the top, 1, 2, 3, because the columns run vertical and then the rows run horizontal. And then we said that it should count by row. Okay, so by row, we set it to true. So you see that it is counting 1, 2. So the 2, have you seen that the 2 is going to your right? Okay, it's counting it row wise. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is row wise. Okay, supposing we set the by row to false. Okay, then that means you are telling R to count it column wise. Okay, so let's do that. So we can copy the whole of this. Okay, copy the whole of this, bring it here. Okay, let's name this T1 or T2. Let's name this T2 and let's do this one T1, the first one that we did. Okay, and then run it again so that we'll be able to differentiate between them. Okay, so let's run T2. Okay. Please, I'll call you, okay? I just want to explain this first. Okay, so when we run T2,
so you are supposed to make T2 by row false.
Okay, so let's make this false, sorry. So let's make this false. And then we run it again. So you see that now it is reading column wise. Have you seen a difference between the two? So here it is being read 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it is going down. It is not going by row, it is going by column. Okay, so that is the difference. So based upon what you are doing, you set the by row to true, or you set it by row to false. Okay. Yes, please. I think okay, Christiana.
Please, sir. Does it mean if you want to give the rows and the columns names instead of 1, 2, 3, you can indicate the names you want to give, like maybe 1 is for student, 2 is for
Yes, so it depends upon the data that you have. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Archie.
Okay, sir. This I really understand, but assuming that we have, let's say, 11, like 1 to 11 in the.
It will not work.
Is it going to work?
No. So it has to be. You need to. It has to. Let's say. Let's do it here. So let's say it's up to 11. Yeah. So let's run it again. Because it should be able to fill in all the gaps in there. Okay. You see that it's telling you that the length is not enough. Okay.
Yes, thank you very much.
So let's make it 12. So in some situations, if it's not enough, it will just do it up to where it will be enough and then leave out the rest. Okay, so let me just run this and see. Have you seen? So when it got to 11,
Okay.
they repeated the 1, though it's working, but that's not what you want. Okay, because
Yeah.
the length is not enough. So let's do this one.
Yeah.
Please, any question? So let's see if we can. So once you have something like that, and depending upon what you are doing, you might be interested in some. You might be interested in some particular values within the matrix. Okay?
Hello, Nana.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Mendeleev, please go ahead.
Oh, Nana, someone was talking to you. Let her finish, then I'll
Okay. All right. Okay.
Sir, please, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I can't see. You didn't raise your hand, so I can't
did.
see. Is it? Oh,
I
okay.
did.
Sorry, I didn't see. Is that Louisa?
Yes, please.
No, I know your voice from yesterday. Okay. All right, Louisa, go ahead.
Sir, please, I want to share my screen.
Okay. You're having an issue?
Yes, please.
Okay. Share it with us. Let us see.
Sir, please, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
So please, for the first matrix we did, when I ran it, nothing happens.
So what you do is that, yes, nothing happened because you see where you have the matrix, the data is M, it's picking from M. Have you seen your line 17?
Oh.
Okay. But meanwhile, when you created it in line 15, you used T1. You should have used M.
Oh.
Have you seen? So use M for your line 15. Replace it. No, not 16. So both 15 and 16.
Yeah, so again, it seems like the N calls, she also added the S.
It's the same.
No.
I am
Change
still
it to
running
M.
and nothing happens.
Louisa, change T1 to M. Can you hear me? Louisa, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please, can anyone hear me?
Yes, please, we can hear
Yes,
you.
sir, I can hear you.
So we can.
Louisa, I see Louisa doesn't hear me. Oh. Louisa, go to line 15. Louisa, can you hear me? I think she's having problems with the internet.
Network
I think
issues.
she's having issues with it.
Sir, please, can you hear me?
Yes, Louisa. Yes, you are back. Share it again. So, Louisa, yes. So run it now.
Same thing.
No, it should run now. Run the line 17 again.
There's an error. The
Nana, what about N call?
And
She
then
removed
change the N codes. You remove the S.
Oh.
Yeah. And then run it. Is it running now?
No.
Excuse me, it looks like the code is commented out.
The what?
No.
Which one?
Oh, starting from line
online
15.
On line 8, right? On line 8, she created a character without the closing, what do you
Line
call
8?
it? Double quotes. Yes, on line 8.
No,
The
we are not,
character she
but we are not
created.
even using that. We are not using Stephanie, though that is wrong.
Yeah, so she didn't close
The
double
open,
quotes.
yeah.
That's why the whole code seems commented out. Good.
So run it again.
Finally.
So your M is now running, okay?
Okay.
And then run your matrix again.
Okay.
It's running. So make T1. Make it T1. Run it again. Okay, copy the whole of the code and then change the T1 to T2 and then change the by row argument to false. So make this one T2. And then change the by row argument to false. Yeah, and then run that one too. So when you call both of them, T1 and T2, the way, no, it's case sensitive. So it has to be small t. The way you have assigned it, that's the way you should call it. Okay. So yeah, run it. Yeah, so you see that it is counting it row-wise because you set the by row to true. Okay. Now, when you call T2, so here too is counting it column-wise because you set the by row to false. All right. So that's the difference. Now, you might get to a situation. Okay, you are welcome. Yes, give him praise.
Nana, please. I am a little bit confused with the matches because mine is also not running in.
Okay, let's see what you have.
Yes,
let's see what you have.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. So you should have 1 to 12, isn't it? Your M should be 1 to 12.
Okay.
Did you bring 10? 9, 10, comma. Okay, run the M. Okay, because your length wasn't up to, that's why I was giving you that. Okay, so the matrix, let's see. Yeah, so the true, how do you call it? Your true should be capital, okay? Capital.
Okay. Should I run it now?
Okay, close the bracket a bit. You can make the whole thing. Okay. So so run it. Let me see. It should be caps, but I don't know whether this one will run. So make it either you make it T or you make it true, all caps. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then run it. Yeah. So make it, and then when you call T1, it will not come because you saved it initially as T. So make it in your line 8, make it T1 instead of T. And then run it again. Okay. So copy the whole code and then name it T2 and change the by row argument to false. No, you don't need to type all of them. Just copy what you have on line 8 and paste in line 9.
Okay. Sorry, my mouse is not working.
Okay, so you do that, it should be fine. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, please, any other question? So what we want to do is that when you have
Nana.
Yes, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was going to ask that the by row,
where
we are setting it to either true or false, do we have by call to?
By what?
By column.
No, the by column is where you set the by row to false.
Okay.
But it doesn't say by column. Have you seen? So by default, it sets everything to by row.
By row.
Okay, so if you set it to false, then That means that you want it to read by column. Is that okay?
By column. Yes, yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay, somebody's hand up again. Okay. So please, when I answer your question, you can put your hand down, okay? Is somebody asking another question? I can see somebody's, is it giving praise? Your hand is still up. Just put it down.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So let's go back to our stuff. So when you have your matrix, it can happen that you are interested in some particular values of the matrix. Okay. So so let's work with T1, for instance. Okay. So let's pick some particular values of the matrix T1. So let's say we want to pick, so let me make a comment here. So picking values within the matrix. Okay, so let's say we want to pick the value in the first row and the third column. Okay, so pick value in the first row and third column. So when we take T1, for instance, where do we have T1? This is T1. So value in the first row. So this is the first row, isn't it? And then the third column. So what value would that be? What value would that be? No. We are not doing T2, T1. So third row, first row, third column. What value would that be?
3. That would be 3.
That would be 3. Okay. So we are using T1 just for you to be sure. Okay. So what you do is that you specify T1. Okay, and then you use a square bracket. So the square bracket acts like a subset. Okay, so the square bracket, the first value is row, and then the second value is column. So every time, please put it in your mind, every time the first value is the row, second value is the column. All right. So if you want to pick the first row and then the value in the first row and the third column, okay, you write it like this: T1 subset or square bracket 1, 3. Okay, so when we run it, it gives us, it picks 3. Okay, this is for you to do. Okay, pick the value in the third row and second column. Do it now. Pick value in third row and second column. So use T1. We are still using T1, okay? You are picking value in the third row, second column. Yes, Christiana.
Please, I'm trying to concentrate to pay attention to what you are doing. So I don't have the full data as they were typing alongside you as you are teaching. So it will be difficult, but can I use your screen to just pick my answer?
Yes, it's here. It's here.
It's
T1. T1 is here.
Then the answer is 7.
Third row, second column. Are you sure?
The answer is 8.
The answer is 8.
Answer is 8.
Second column, 8.
Read well,
Yes,
Christiana.
8. So I'm not typing, so I'm concentrating on what you are using, what you are doing.
No,
The answer is 8.
So you follow as I go along. Okay?
Yeah, that's
the
what I'm
answer
doing.
is 8. Okay, so type it now. We've done the first one, so you should be able to do it. So the first one, the first row, second column, we did this. So don't pick it. I want you to code it. Picking it is easy. I want you to code it. So if you are doing this, it will be T1, isn't it? T1, third row. So the third row will come first, and then second column. Okay. So don't pick it. I want you to code it and give me the answer. Okay, let's go to T2. Let's go to T2. Okay, for T2, okay, use values in T2. For T2, pick the second row, second column. Second value, pick value, code it, pick value in second row and second column and give me the answer. Don't code it, okay? Don't. Okay, so how did you code it? Don't share your screen, just say it. How did you code it?
T2 into bracket 2, comma 2.
Okay, so it's square brackets, okay?
Square brackets, okay.
Okay, so T2 square brackets 2, comma 2. Okay. Run it. That gives access. Okay. Let's move the notch a bit higher. Okay. So we are still working with T2.
Say, please relax, please.
Are you okay now?
No, 1 second.
Okay, so we are still working with T2. Okay. Pick all values in column 3. See if you can do that. Pick all values in column 3. If you're able to code it, then you can share your screen, or you can tell me. You can put in the chat. Pick all values in column 3. Can somebody try? Good.
No, it will be 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay, good. So what you did was that that means we are not picking any value in the row. So we leave the row blank and then comma, and then we pick the values in column 3. Okay, well done. Good. Okay, so basically what
I
you
have
did.
a question.
Yeah, just a minute. So we have T2, okay, square brackets. The first value is the row. So we are just interested in all the columns, not the row. So we leave the row blank and then we choose the third column. Okay. Yes, please. What's your question?
Please, with the other guy, he wrote row and column in another bracket.
Don't worry. Just stick to what I'm doing. Okay. Some people have a bit of knowledge already. So you follow what I am doing. Okay.
Okay, sure.
All right. So any question? Any questions so far? Any questions so far? For those who lagged behind a bit, I hope you've caught up. If I'm having issues too, let me know, and then I'll help. Any question?
Sir.
Yes.
Please, can I ask my question?
Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm curious to find out if you want to assign, is it text or value to the columns? How you go about it? Instead of the
we'll
1,
get
2,
there.
3.
We'll get there. Let's
Okay.
build on it, because I told you that with matrix, it has to be of the same type. Okay. So
Thank you.
understand what we are doing now, and then we'll build upon it. So now we are doing matrix. Okay. We'll get to somewhere very soon where we combine it with test and everything. Okay. All right.
Will try, but they can never do like one. Your mother's friends will try, but they can never do like her.
All right. So any other question? Any other question? So we are good to go, yeah? So let's do the last one. So let's pick values for row 1 to 3 and column 2 and 3, or column 2 to 3. Okay. So what you do is that, still using T2. Okay, so we are interested in the row. So now the row, we have a range for the row. So the row, we have column 1 to 3. So 1, full column 3, and then you bring your comma. So once you've brought your comma, it means that everything in the first part pertains to the rows. Okay, and then anything after that pertains to the column, right? So for the rows, we are interested in 1 to 3, and for the columns, 2 to 3. Yeah. And then we run it. So you see that it has given us values 1 to 3, okay, for the rows, okay, and then that of the columns 2 to 3. Yeah. All right. Any question? Any question?
Please, sir.
Yes.
Can I ask my question?
Please go ahead.
Please, I realize when you indicated with the colon aspect, the 2 is to 3. When the answer came,
Yeah. You said when the answer came?
I've seen, hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. They did a 1 and 2. I see 1 and 2.
You did 1 and 2.
With the console. No, it's like what you did from the
Yes.
screen.
Yes, so
When you called
the first one relates to the row, okay, and then we have the second one. So we are doing a 2 by 3 matrix, okay. So you see that here it is giving us answers. So with the T2, for instance, this is what we have for the T2. So for the T2, row 1 to 3, okay, is what we have here. It's like 1, 1, 5, 9 up to I think is it 11? Okay, this is the row 1 to 3, and then 2. So it gives you the first 3 rows. So here, what you have is it gives you the first 3 rows, and then the 2 to 3 gives you the columns. Okay, gives you the columns. So that's what we are seeing there. Okay.
Please.
Yeah.
I understand. It gives us the value of the column. My promise with the column aspect, it gave us the value of the column, like the 5 and the 9. But the heading, the one in the, is it in the square bracket? I don't understand why.
Okay, the one at the top.
Yes, it's supposed to be 2 and 3 rather, but it's 1 and 2.
No. Remember that when somebody asked the question earlier on, it's similar to what we have here. It's just giving you the first output.
Okay.
This tells you that this is the first output. That is the second output. Okay.
Understand, thank you.
Okay. Okay, yes, yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so looking at the range options, does it always have to be a range like it follows through? Can you pick something like column 1 and then jump the 2 and then pick some?
Yeah, please, I can't hear you. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, Nana. I was saying, with the range version that we just did, does it always have to follow the sequence, or can the sequence be jumped? For instance, if I want to pick values from the row 1 and 3 and omit the 2, can that be done?
You want to pick row 1 and 2?
Yes, row 1 and 3 values.
Yes.
So I don't want to pick 2. I want to jump from 2, but I want to pick values from 1 and 3 row, and then
so any kind of value can be picked. It just depends upon how you code it within the subset. Okay.
Okay.
Any values can be picked. You can pick values. Okay. What you can do is that you can pick values and then even rename them, and then the ones you've renamed, you put them together. Okay. All right. So it depends upon the context within which you are using the matrix for. Okay. So with the basis, at least you know that you can pick a specific row and a specific column. Okay. If you want to give a range to, you can specify the range. Okay. So here we specify the range for the 1 to 3. Okay. But you are saying that, let's say you are interested in 1 to 3, but you are not interested in 2. Is that what you are saying? You say?
Yes, I'm interested in 1 and 3 row. I'm not interested in the 2.
Okay, in that case, then you might have to pick 1 and then pick 2, because the column will give you the row. The column, the column that the full column that you have here, okay, will give you the range.
Okay.
Is that okay? It will give you the range. And remember that you are, because of the comma, you are a bit limited as to the kind of things you can do for the rows. You can't do so many things. So it's either you specify what you want and then pick it straight away. But if you want to use some and then leave some, it might be a bit difficult to do that.
Okay, got you. Thanks.
All right, so let's go on to another object known as arrays. Okay. So you've done matrix. Let's move on to arrays. So an array is a data structure containing a number of values, all of which are of the same type. So this one too. So you can have a one-dimensional array. Okay. You can have a two-dimensional array, or you can have a three-dimensional array, and so forth. So typically you realize that a two-dimensional array is the same as a matrix. Have you seen? Because the matrix, you have the one going horizontal and the one going vertical. Okay, so that is a typical two-dimensional array. A one-dimensional array, you can say, is like a matrix, a vector. Have you seen? Yes, it's just one object just spread across like that. Okay, so that is what you have. So you can have, like I said, you can have a three-dimensional array as well. So let's see how we can create 3D arrays, okay, based upon a specific number of data that we have. Okay, so let's go back to R.
Please, can I check how you watch?
Okay, so let's create some basic information, and then we use that to create the array. Okay, so let's create our first dimension. So let's call this a dim name. Let's call this dim1. And dim1 is made up of a vector. Okay, so let's call this A1.
Hello.
Is somebody asking a question? Hello? I thought I heard someone.
Nana and why? Please kindly mute.
Please, I think whoever you are giving the
Yes, I think Ransford is not performing.
able to meet all of them.
Ransford, we've given you the option to be doing that, but people are still disturbing. Or you are not here. Ransford.
Please, I'm here.
Yes, but people are still disturbing and you are not doing anything about it. So mute them. Okay. Please, for you to also be aware, data science involves a lot. So please, right from the word go, you should get yourself immersed in this. If you don't get this basic stuff that we are doing, further down the line, you will struggle. Okay, so please, I'm begging you, get yourself deeply involved in everything that we are doing. Other than that, you know, by the time we realize you are way back and you can't catch up. Okay. All right. So just for you to let you know. Right. So I'm creating, what I'm doing here is just creating some objects. All right. And we are going to use this to develop our array. Okay. So I have dim1, dim2, dim3. So this first dim1 is it's a vector of 1a to 1a3. dim2 is also a vector from b1 to b3. So let's do dim3. Okay, so let's say that this one is c1. Okay, c1 to c2. Okay, so let's run all of this. So these are separate objects. Okay, we are going to put all of them together to create an array. Okay, so now let's create an array called y. Okay, so we use the array function. Okay, we use the array function, and then when you type the function, you see that it will pop up by itself, and this comes with the base package. So you can see the base package here, right? Okay, so array, we want to create an array of numbers between 1 to 18. Remember that when I was creating the matrix, and I was first of all developed the vector, I wrote 1 to 12. Okay, but there's an easier way to do that. Okay, I wanted you to go through this first of all. Okay, so you don't need to type 1, 2, 3 up to 12. Here we are doing 1 to 18. Okay, so you can just write 1 column 18. So it gives you the range. You don't need to type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 18. Okay, so whatever range that you want to use, you can use 1 to 30, whatever. Okay.
Sir, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Earlier we used y, we denoted y as something else, I think 2 or so.
Yeah.
Is it okay for us to use y again?
Yeah, you can use y again. We are not using the one we did, we are not using it again. So
okay,
you can always okay. But if you want to use any other thing apart from y, you are free to do that. Okay. All right, so we create values from 1 to 18. Okay, and then we give the dimensions. Okay, so the dimensions. So the first argument is to give the how do you call it, the range. Okay, if you see here, for instance, okay, the first argument is the vector. Okay, the second argument is the number of dimensions, and then the third argument is the dimension names. Okay, I hope you can see that. Okay, so if you want to create an array, for instance, the first argument is the vector. So that's what you see in the one I'm doing. So 1 to 18 is the vector. Okay, so it creates a vector from 1 to 18. And then the second, so then there is a comma. The second argument is the dimensions. So what dimensions do we want to use? So we want to use a 3, 3, 2 dimension. So these are 3 dimensions, but within the first dimension, you will have 3 elements in there. Okay, and then so this is a 3D. Basically, it's a 3D dimension. Okay, so you have 3, 3, 2. Okay, so the 3 refers to A and B, and then the dimension C1, okay, and so forth, right? So here it looks at the dimensions and then the dimension names or the dim names. So that's what this is about, right? So let's come back here. So we have our 1 to 18, that is a vector, okay? And then we have the dimensions. So this one is also in the form of a vector, 3, 3, 2. Sorry, 3, 3, 2. And then the third argument is the dim names. So the dim names, we put all of them in a list. I will explain a list shortly, okay? But for now, just understand that when we bring the dim names, we put all the dim names in a list, okay? So we have dim 1, the one we created earlier one, the earlier one we created here. So we have dim 1, dim 2, and then dim 3. All right. So I think we are good to go. Can somebody explain why we are having double brackets at the back here? The closing bracket. Why are we having double brackets? Why not one bracket?
Because the list is within that the list is within the other bracket, the main
Okay.
one.
So the first one has its own bracket. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So just a minute. So basically you see that this list has an open bracket and it has to close. Okay. And there is an open bracket for the array itself, which has to have a closing bracket. So that's why we are having 2 brackets here. Okay, good. Okay.
Sir.
Yes. Nehemiah.
I have a little bit of a challenge.
Okay.
Creating the arrays, I couldn't execute it.
Okay. Okay, let's finish this and then we come to you.
Okay.
Okay, so let's run our Y. Okay, so we have our Y here, which has created the array. So when we call our Y, is giving us the dimensions that we specify in the, so we have a 3D dimension here. So we have one dimension that is A1 to A3, another dimension that is B1 to B3, okay? And they are all in one dimension, C1. Okay, so this one 3D dimension, and that 3D is what we have here. Okay, so we have A1 to A3, okay, B1 to B3, okay, all in dimension 2. Okay, so if you realize we did 1 to 18, so it has divided it. So the first 9 are in dimension 1, okay, and then the second 9 elements are in dimension 2. Okay, so supposing we wanted to create 3 dimensions, 3 different groups of dimensions, then that means that we need to add 1 to them 3, and then we can change this one to 3, the array to 3. Okay, I don't know whether you follow. Please, Nehemiah, are you asking a question again? Or if not, kindly put your hand down.
Okay, it's the same one.
Okay, you said you wanted to. Okay, please. So let's see your. Sorry, I haven't answered your question.
So if
So
I
let me.
can,
Yeah, share your screen. Let's see. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay. So it's this one.
Okay.
Yes.
It hasn't come up yet.
Yes.
Okay. So right. So you've created the names.
Yes. When I checked yours, like for blue, the A1, A2, A3.
Just a minute. So you created. Let's go through one by one. So you created your dim 1. That one was okay. Yeah.
A2, A3, everything.
Yeah. Everything is fine. Okay.
Yes.
So run it again. Run dim 1 to 3. Execute it again. So select all of them and then run. Select from 56 to. Oh.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please share it again. I think your line is stable.
Okay.
Yes, Nana. I think
No, please wait. Let him ask his question first, okay? Then I'll come to you. Or you were commenting on this work that he has done.
Yes, on his work. The dimension 2, the B2, there's no comma. That's why when you read the comment.
Yes, he didn't bring a comma. So please bring a comma on your D2, line 57. Have you seen?
Yes.
Yeah. And then run it again. You are having.
He didn't run everything.
It didn't run everything.
Okay. Use the laptop. YouTube PC.
Yes. And then run it.
It will come. Our first is go and look at the laptop.
Run it again.
Okay.
Okay, I think you are having an issue here. So click on go to the console. Okay, click on where you have the hash kill. Delete it. Let me see. Or it's not able to delete.
I've been able to delete it.
Okay. Then go back to your stuff and then run it again.
Okay.
Have you selected it?
Yes, I've selected it.
Yeah. Okay, so it is now running.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so give the other commands. Create the array.
Okay. I was stuck here. So unless
So I will leave you to go and create the array.
Okay.
Please, yes, somebody, is it Y? Kindly use your name, okay? Because I can't refer to you as Y, please. I told you to change your name. Okay, but anyway, go ahead and ask your question. Why?
Please, I run the command, but it keeps on giving me error objects, dim 1 not found.
I didn't hear you well.
So I run the command, the Y
okay, share your screen. Let's see. bring up your screen. Let's see.
Sorry.
So please, next time use your full name, okay? So that I can refer to you properly.
Okay, sure. Please hold on. Sorry, can you see my screen?
Yeah, enlarge it a bit.
So this is what I keep on getting.
Them one not found.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see what you have here. Please, from 23 to between 23 and 22. Okay, create a space. Okay, don't.
Okay.
Your word looks cluttered a bit. Okay, these are different stuff. Okay, so you created them one. Okay, random one is one, only them one. Let me see. It's running. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's see dim two, random two. Dim two is fine. Okay, random three. Okay, so let's come to the array. So array 1 to 18, and then the vector, and then the dim names, and then dim 1, dim 2. So I think you hadn't run it. That's why you were having problems. So run it now.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So run your array again, your Y. It should give you all the dimensions.
Sure. Thanks.
Okay. Give him praise. Yes.
Please, I was having the same issue, but I'm running it individually, and I think
Okay.
it's working it.
All right. Okay. And it's good practice to be running it individually so that if there is an issue, you know exactly where it is coming from. When you run it as a block of code and it throws an error, normally you will not find out where the error is coming from. So as much as possible, do it line by line, and then you know if you can identify where the error is coming from. Okay, yes, Francis, were you asking a question? Okay, all right.
Sorry.
Yes, Nana Bonsu, go ahead.
Yeah, and Nana, please, I was also having the same
Okay,
errors.
so you are running it now.
I've run the dimensions one, but then I still don't get the arrays. I'm not getting the dimension.
Okay, so share your screen. Let me see something.
All right.
Enlarge it a bit so that we can see everything.
All right.
Oh, Nana, enlarge your screen. All right. Okay. So yeah. So you've run 1, 2, 3, and then run your okay, and then your array. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, but it's running. It has run. So call Y. So you need to call Y now. So go back to line 40. Go to line 48, and then call Y.
Line. Okay.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sure.
Okay. Give him praise. You are back.
Yes, please. Please, when I run my Y array, it gives me error. So I don't.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, please.
The error saying that
Unexpected in. Please, this is it.
So I think you've used an inverted comma somewhere that you shouldn't have. Okay, so let's see. No, so it is the array is one column, it's full column, not semicolon. One column 18 is full column, not semicolon.
Okay.
Yeah. So run it again. Oh, why?
Already, or I should call Y again.
Yeah, so run Y, yeah. You don't need to highlight it. Once you've placed the cursor there, just go and run. Yeah, you have it now.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I also have an issue.
Okay.
But I can't share my screen because my Zoom is on my phone and my.
Right.
But
Okay. What did
they
say?
said to error in array. Length of thy names 3 not equal to array extent.
Okay. So what is the dim did you use 1 to 18?
Yes, 1 to 18.
And then what was your second argument? Is it C332?
C33 C comma 3 C bracket 3 comma 3 comma equals list
dim 1,
dim
dim
1 dim 2 dim 3, but they said length of
Okay,
names
so
3.
the dim 1, did you have A1 to A3?
Yes, please.
And then dim 2, B1 to B3?
Yes, please.
And then dim 3, C1 and C2?
Dim 3?
Yes.
Okay, I had C3 in dim 3.
Because if you are adding C3, that means that the 1 to 18 will not be enough.
Okay, yeah. I
Have you
see
seen?
now. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Okay, any other question? Okay. If no question, let's go for our break. And then when we come back. Yeah.
Please, I'd like to see your screen.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Please, I also have a question.
Okay, so let's answer all the questions, then we go for our break. Yes, first question, please. Go ahead.
Anna, please, I wanted to see your screen.
Yes, I've put my screen there. Or it's still
see.
Not you
showing.
guys see? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Let me share it again. Yeah. Okay. Is it okay
Please,
now?
can you go down a bit?
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. And when we finish, I will send my whatever I have here to you. Okay, so don't worry about it. Yes, yeah. Please, you wanted to ask a question.
Yes. So with the array definition, with the second column, that's the C, the length part. How is the system able to determine that he should put dim 1 and dim 2 in dim 3? Is this system thing?
Yeah. So
are we supposed to figure that out?
So once the second argument of the dim names, that's where it picks it from. So sorry, the third argument. So you see, the first argument is dealing with 1 to 18. All right. And then the second one is the number of dimensions. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then so it's telling us that in the first, so we have 3 dimensions. Okay. So in the first dimensions, we are going to have 3 kind of three objects that make up that dimension. That is A1, B1, C1. Okay. So sorry, it will pick A1 to 3, B1 to 3, and then C1. So that one makes up the first dimension. The second dimension too, it knows that it should have 3 objects within that dimension. That is A1 to 3, B1 to 3, and then C2. Okay, and then it knows that the last 2 are like the 2 other dimensions. So we have 3 dimensions. So the first dimensions are the one that deals with the A's. The second dimension deals with the B's. Third dimension deals with the C's. But it's putting everything together. Okay, so that is what the second dimension does. The second argument does. And then the third argument is just the names of the dimensions. Okay, so R, within R, it knows that as soon as you give the function, to feed it with these details. Okay, and then based upon these details, it will make its own calculations behind the hood and then give you the output. Is that okay?
Okay.
Yes, Christiana. Christiana, you lifted up your hand.
Yes, please. I'm having a problem with mine. It's not running. When I get to the Y array, it's not running.
Okay.
If you can, if I can share my screen.
Yes, share it and let's see what you have.
Okay. Please, can you see it now?
Okay, enlarge it a bit and let's see.
Okay. Oh. Uh-oh.
Go to where you enlarge your, I think, the upper part. Go to the upper part. I can't see your screen well. So the middle box, okay, where you have R student.
Can you see it now?
Yes, okay, I can see it now. Yeah, so
If
you
you
have
check
them
it
one. So random one, let's see. Okay, random 2. In 3. So you have an error in DIM 3. So check it well. So you have a small c. The vector is small c, not capital. It's small c, not capital C. You've made it capital C.
The first one, the vector.
Yeah, a small c.
Okay.
And then run it again.
Yes.
Okay. So run your array.
Please, should I place it here or at the end of it?
So yeah, place it at the back. Yeah, and then and then run it again.
Okay. So say now it's working there.
But it's working, can't you see?
No, I don't know, but it was giving me red. So now I see it's blue. That's why I'm asking if that's the
So run the Y. Then
okay.
You see. No, put the cursor, yes, and then run Y. Yes.
Oh.
Good. Now you are happy. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Okay. Emmanuel, yes.
Okay, sir. I realized that when I was typing the dim, there was another dim in the functions of the bees that popped up. I don't know whether it said the same purpose or it's a different thing altogether. When I was typing the dim, there was another dim that popped up.
There was another dim that popped up. There might be a
Yes.
function somewhere, but ignore that.
Okay.
Okay. Please, any other question? Obed, yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, please, I want you to go over the box again for me, the results in the console, how it has been arranged, the A's and the B's, the way the A's are all lined up and the B's are on top. Once again for me, please.
All right, okay, that's fine. Please, can you see my screen or I should share it again?
Please share it again. I can't see.
Okay, all right, no problem. All right, so this is what we have. So when you come to help, let's look for array. Okay, I don't know whether my internet. Okay, one here. Okay. When we go to help here, so it's telling us per the R documentation. Okay. So a typical array function, you will see that you have the data. Okay, so the data where you want to create the array on. So that is the 1 to 18. So we created a vector of 1 to 18. Okay, and then we have the second argument is the. So you see that dim is equal to. Now, one thing you should realize in R is that this is the basic syntax. All right. So it knows that data, the first one relates to data, the second one relates to the dimensions, the third one relates to the dimension names. So even if I don't bring the data and then I bring one column 18, it knows in its mind that the first argument is data. The second argument is the dimensions, the length of the dimensions. And then the third one is the dimension names. So the data is, we created a vector of 1 to 18. And then we told it that the second argument is the length of the dimensions. Okay, the length of the dimensions. So here is going to use, how do you kind of array. So here you have three. That's why it has divided this into the first 9 and then the second 9. And so the last one is the 2. Okay. Remember that we have these dimensions here. So the first one, the first dimension, so it will pick one for A1, run through its A1 to A3, B1 to B3, all of them. And another type of dimension will also come to C2. So here you can see the 3D here. So here you don't have just A1 and A, B1. You have A, you don't have A and B, you have A, B, C. That's the 3D. Okay. So, and then you come to the second one too, you have the 3D, you have A, B, C. Okay. So that's what this whole thing is about. Remember, this is a cube. Okay. I don't know, probably further down. Let me share this. Please, can you see the cube on your screen? Can you see the cube on the screen?
No, sir.
We can see R.
You're still seeing R, okay. See the array now. Okay, so with a typical 2 dimensions, you will have like the vertical, okay, like this. Oh, the vertical and then the horizontal. But if it is a 3D, if something is here like in the middle like this, okay, then it is not only vertical and horizontal, but the other aspect of it. I have a cube whereby what you are looking for is not really at the vertical side or the horizontal side, but in the middle somewhere. Okay, so it creates a 3-dimensional object. Okay, so that is what we are seeing it here. But don't worry, now this one is a bit abstract. We will be taking data sets where we will be dealing with real life problems, and these things will become more sensible. You can relate to it more for you to understand how an array works. Is that okay? Okay. Any other question? Any other question? Okay. So let's go for a break now. And then when we come back, we'll come and finish it up. Okay, so let's go for a 30 minutes break. We'll come back at 11.
Thank you.
Let's create a data frame. All right. And after that, we'll create factors and then see how it will help us in our further analysis. Okay. All right. So like I've just explained, with a data frame, you're looking at various data types within the data set. All right. So first of all, let's create some numeric vectors. Okay. So let's call this K. Okay, so let's create a numeric vector. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I'll make a comment here. So this is a numeric vector. Okay, we run that. So let's create another character vector. Call this L.
So I'm sorry, the spelling of numeric.
Numeric, okay. Thank you. So red, gold, green. Okay, so run this. So this is a character vector. Let's run this one too. And then lastly, let's create a logical vector. Well, okay. Okay. So let's run M as well. Okay, so what we want to do is that, so these are separate objects, okay? So we have a numeric vector, we have a character vector, we have a logical vector. Consists of various data types put together, okay? So let's create a data frame by putting all these objects together, okay? That is the numeric, character, and the logical, okay? So let's create an object called my data, okay? So my data, we want to create a data frame. So we use a data frame function, okay? So data.frame, okay? So you see that it's even here in the base package, okay? So data.frame. So what we want to do is to combine K L, and then M, right? So it's picking objects that we've created here. So with this command, okay, with this syntax, we are able to put them together to form a data frame. Okay, so if we run this here, you see that my data has been executed. So if we call my data now and then we run, now we can see that and the M. Okay, let's check the class of my data. My data. Okay. Okay, so it tells us that it is now a data frame. Okay. Any questions on this one? Any questions on how we have created a data frame? So data types. So with this data frame, we have a numeric vector, we have a character vector, we have a logical vector, all put together into one data set. Okay, so we have a data frame. Okay, any questions? Any question? Okay, so what we want to do is it doesn't tell us much. So let's change the names of the columns, okay, so that we can have a more meaningful data set, okay? So we use this function, we use the names function, okay? So names, and then you have my data, okay? So we are going to, so with this function, we are telling R that we are changing the names. Okay, there are several ways to do this, okay? But for now, let's use this. So what we want to do is that we want to, for K stands for ID, okay? Identification number, so ID. So ID. And then the L or team. Okay, and then let's make this pass status. Okay, so when we run this line of code, all right, and then we call my data again. KLM has changed to ID color pass status. So now it makes sense. So we have 4 main teams. We have team red, team gold, team green, team blue. And these are the ID numbers for each team. So we've done an exam and we want to find out whether they failed or they passed. So team red, you know, in terms of pass status, team red failed, team gold passed, team green passed, and any question? Any question? So this is a typical data set, a data frame we have created by combining various types of objects into one data frame. Please, are we all following this?
Yes, please, we are.
Yeah. Emmanuel, yes, please go ahead.
Okay, sir. So my concern has to do with the names that you place the my data in brackets.
Yeah.
It basically replaced everything. So I want to know if it's a kind of function or something that.
Yeah, it's a function. It's a function.
Okay. All right.
So what you are telling it is that it should change the names, the column names, the original column names that were there.
Oh, okay.
And I'm saying that there are several ways to do this. So this is one of the ways you can use in changing the names of the columns.
Okay, sir. Well noted.
Okay.
Thank you.
Please, any other observation or yes, Jerome. Please go ahead, Jerome. Please go ahead.
Yes. I realized that you changed it, but then you didn't assign it to each of the letters. What I'm trying to ask is, if you were to bring color first before ID, will it assign automatically, or you just did it according to arrangement you used?
Oh, we did it according to the arrangement. So you see that here, the data frame, we started with KLM. If we changed it and then make it LKM, okay? For instance. Okay, and then we run it. Okay, let's run this. Yeah. So now, if that is the case, then we did it LKM. Okay, so that means that in that case, the past status should come to the middle. Does it make sense? Okay. ID. No, we didn't change the L. We just changed the KL. Okay, so that means you need to change this. Other than that, if you run it like this, it wouldn't make sense. Though it has changed, it wouldn't make sense. I mean, the ID cannot be red, gold, green, and then the color 1, 2, 3. It doesn't make sense. Have you seen? So that is why we did it the way we did it. Okay, so you need to the kind of data set you have makes sense. Okay, so that's why you can change it by if we do that, it wouldn't make sense. Okay, so ID, for instance. So the ID is preferable that the ID always starts as your first column. Okay, so because that is your identifier. All right. So let's maintain the KLM. All right, as we did earlier on.
Oh, thanks.
Question. Yes, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
So, sir, with the function names, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So how we'll be able to know the functions that actually we can use for a data frame? Because right now we use the function names. Is there a way that we can know all the functions that somehow?
Okay, so put it another way, like you want to know several ways by which we can name our columns. Is that what you're saying? Because what this function does is that it's a function. So what it does is that it takes whatever you have originally. So originally we had KLM. Okay, so when you bring the names here and then you put my data in there, and you need to supply it with the new names that you want to use. So we give it these new names. It's not like these new names are somewhere. We give it these new names. If we change it right now, it will also change here. So all that this function is doing is that it's taking the original KLM and then we change it as such. There are several ways by which we can change our columns, okay? But this is one of the functions of the base package. Is that okay? I don't know whether I've answered your question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Yes, Christiana. Christiana, please go ahead.
Please, I have an error. I don't know if you can help me.
What
Can I
error?
share my screen?
What error do you have?
As in an error with the RStudio. When I go to my data for the class, before the class, when I want to call my data, I run
Okay,
it. I get error
so
object.
what did you use data.frame KLM?
Yes, please.
Have
That's
you
one
used
word.
that one word? Okay, so share your screen. Let me see. Christiana, it seems your line is bad. Your line is bad.
Okay.
Your line is bad.
Oh. Okay.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? It seems we can't hear you. Your line is bad.
Please, can you?
Your line is bad. Okay, so let's move along. When her line is yes, but we are not seeing your screen.
Oh.
We are not seeing your screen. Okay.
Please see my screen now.
Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah. So did you run the KLM? So I've seen that you've run the KLM. Oh, but when you ran the KLM, it didn't run. No.
Please, can you see the screen now? And you can hear me too.
I can see your screen. I can see your screen.
Oh, okay.
Because I can see that your L, Christiana, wait and listen. Check your L. You're supposed to have 4 colors in there. You have only 3. Yes. So you are supposed to have red, gold, green, and blue. So they are not able to match up. That's why you are getting the error. Okay, so let's move ahead. Yes. Giving praise. Are you? Yes. What's your
Yes,
issue?
please, Nana, please. I've been able to run it, but I'm not really understanding the concept of the data frame.
Okay, so the data frame, what it does is that it picks various K is a numeric vector. You understand that one?
Yes, please.
And then L is a character vector.
Yes,
Okay?
please.
And then M is also a logical vector. Remember that when we're doing matrix, we said that matrix can take on data types that are the same. So we had 2, but all of them were numeric. Do you remember?
Yes, please.
So a data frame is similar to a matrix, just that with matrix, you can only pick one type of data. With a matrix, with a data frame, you can combine so many types of data. Okay, if this were to be a matrix, then it would be a 4x3 matrix. Okay, 4 going down and then 3 up. Okay. But it should a data frame. Okay, all right, but it can combine various data types. That is the difference.
Okay.
Is it better now?
Yes, please.
Okay. And the data frame is the data type that mostly you'll be working with. as a data scientist. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Please, any other issue? Data frame. Let's go on and create something else, and then we can. So now we know what a data frame is. Let's see how we can create a list. Okay. So what is a list? So a list okay, so let's see what a list is. So when it comes to lists, they are the most complex of our data types. Okay. So please, can you see my new screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with the list,
yes,
you can store any object. So every object that you have, you can create a list, and vector, a list can take a data frame. It can even take a list of a list within the list. Okay. So a list is like a big place where you can store all your objects. Okay. So it can contain combination of vectors, matrices, and data frames under one single name. Okay. So we create a list by using the list function. So here you see that if you use the first object and then the second object and so forth, you can create as many objects that you want. Okay. So everything that we've done so far, we can put all of them in the list. Okay. We can put all of them in the list. Okay. So for instance, let's go to R. Let's see all the things we've done. Okay. And then retrieve something from the list. You can just do that accordingly. Okay. So creating a list. Okay. So we want to put, so let's see the things we've done. We've done, we created logical vectors, we created a matrix, okay, and then we created a data frame. So let's take one of each and then put it in the list. So my list, for instance, okay. So list is the function, okay. So your first object, let's remember we created OPQ when we started this one. Do you remember? Okay, so let's take that list, that objects. Okay, so our first object will be O. Second object will be P. Third object will be Q. Okay. The matrix, isn't it? So let it be the other list, other object, and then we created my data. Yeah. So let's run on this. So when we call my list, you see that everything that we've done, it will pop up. Okay. So you see that the first list, this one gave us vector, and then the second object gave us our character vector. Okay. And then our third object gives us our logical vector. Okay. And then our OPQ, and then the M M was, no, I think we should have used what we used for the matrix, I think. So let's use one of them. Let's use T1. Okay. Let's run this again. Okay, so you see that T1, we have the matrix, that's the fourth element. Okay. And then the fifth one is my data. That gives us the data frame. Okay, so that's what a list does. So we will use lists as we go along, okay? But this is just a basic idea of what a list contains, okay? So it's a place where you can store a lot of stuff. Yes, yeah, also. Yeah, go ahead.
So as you are working, something came to my mind. How do you comment a block of code? Do you have to put the hash in front of each of them, or there's a way that you can comment a block of code to remove it out of it?
If you want to remove a block of code, I don't get you.
You want to comment a block of, if you want to comment a block of code, let's say from my data definition.
I'll show you later.
Let's comment the whole code that you've done, so that before you are running,
it runs as a block. Well, I'll show you later when we in curly brackets. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, so let's go ahead and then we create factors. Okay, let's create factors. So we've done a list. We've done lists. So lastly, let's look at factors. Okay. So here, when we say something is categorical data, it means that it is data that is kind of distinct. Okay. They can be counted distinctly. Okay. So or they can be grouped. True, false is a form of categorical data. Male, female is a kind of categorical data. Okay. Agree, mostly agree, disagree, very much disagree. Okay. These are all categorical data. All right. Okay. So it depends upon what you are doing. You can do that aside. Specify if something is a factor. So when you specify that it is a factor, what it does is that it groups them. It groups all these factors that you've created, and it helps you with your analysis. Okay, it helps you with your analysis. So we will see how we create these. Sometimes you can get a data set where 1 stands for male and then 2 stands for female. Okay, but the raw data set is just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, if you don't tell R that 1 is for male and 2 is for female, it might interpret it as a numeric figure, okay, and give you a different outcome. All right, so you have to specify by creating a factor and then telling it that. Example that I gave regarding the days of the week. Okay, 1 can stand for Sunday, 2 can stand for Monday, and so forth. But you need to specify that, okay, by creating a factor. Okay, now we also have categorical variables that are ordinal. Okay, there are some that are ordinal and there are some that are nominal. okay? Like you take a survey, one can stand for agree, two can stand for uh, um, do not agree, three can stand for very much disagree. You see the levels that I'm talking about, okay? It could be height, shorter, shortest, okay? So these are ordered. So one can, okay? But something like male, female is not ordered, okay? Though it's a categorical variable, it is not ordered, okay? So when you are dealing with factors, you need to know whether what I'm dealing with is an ordered factor or is an unordered factor, okay, or a nominal factor, okay? So all this will come into play. So let's see how we can create these factors so that our data will give us more insight or becomes more, you can put it in a better context, okay? So let's quickly see how we can do that, okay, in our studio, okay? So let's quickly do that. We have about 20 minutes, we can do that. Okay, so creating factors. So let's create new objects, and then we put it together as a data frame. And then when we finish, we create factors of it. Okay. So it will give us an opportunity to see how we can create data frames again, and then put them into a factor. Okay. Okay. So let's create a numeric vector. 1, 2. Let's do it 1 to 7 so that will be quick. So sales ID 1 to 7. Let's run this. Let's see. Okay, we are good to go. Okay, so let's create days. Okay. When I finish, you see how this will make sense. So days, let's create factor. So we have 7 days. Okay. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. Okay. So let's run the days. Okay. Let's look at the sales that were made for each of the days. Sales. Okay. So let's create a numeric vector for that. So let's say 1,000. Okay. So 1,000, just write 1 and 3 zeros. Okay. 20,000. 30,000. 15,000. 10,000. Then 3,000. Okay. Right. So let's give performance rating. Okay.
Please, sir, there are only 6 values under sales, and then there's a comma between 30 and
okay.
1,000.
So I think I missed some figures. Okay. Thank you. So okay, and then so I should remove this. Let's do a 6,000 here.
And then there's a comma between the 30 and the 3 zeros.
Yeah. Thanks. So let's run this again. Sales. Okay. So we have performance. Performance. Let's say we have 1.
Yeah.
6, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's image. So let's create it. Let's create location. So when we finish, we are going to put all this together in a data frame. So to make much more sense. Okay. So we have a sales outlet in Accra. Okay. We have a sales outlet in Kumasi. We have a sales outlet in Bono East. I have 4. One in Volta. Okay, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So T region. And then we have 1 in Western region. That's for our location. Okay. For consistency, let me make this capital now. We've done the days, we've done the sales, and so forth. Okay. Now, so per what we've learned so far about factors, think so. Okay. So what we'll do is that let's put all of this into a data frame. Okay. And then see how it will pan out. Okay. So let's create my sales. My sales. Okay. So let's create a data frame. So data.frame. All right. So sales ID. What else? We are putting together the days of the sales. Okay. We are putting together the location. And then also the sales that were made. the performance. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, so when we call back my sales and then run, you see that it has given us the sales ID, okay, the days of the week, the location where the sales were made, the sales figures, and also the performance of this of the sales. Okay. Now, one function that is very important that we'll be using most of the time is the summary function. So let's have a summary and then see what we have here. Okay, so okay. So let me enlarge this a bit. So let's go up. Let's see what the summary is saying. So you see that this summary is giving us, so the summary it gives you the minimum value of it gives you the minimum value, the maximum value, the mean, the median, the first quartile, third quartile. Okay. This doesn't make sense. The sales ID doesn't make sense. Okay. Now the days too is just these are all character. It just says that these are character in character in nature, and also the location. Okay. So the summary here too, the sales, this one makes sense. This is the minimum sales. Okay, this is the maximum sales. This is the mean sales, 12,000. Performance, okay, we want to see whether the performance is good or bad, and we've given ratings 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then here it has just taken the numbers, okay, and then it's giving us the minimum number and then the maximum number 6, and it's giving us the mean. This doesn't make sense. Now, the reason why this doesn't make sense is that we have not created factors. Okay, so if we have created factors, and this will make much more sense to us. Okay, so let's go and then create the necessary factors for the various data. Okay, and then come back to the summary and then see what happens. Okay. Okay, so let's do that. So per our give you some clarity, the performance. Okay, the performance that we have here. We had 1 to 6. Okay, so let's create this comment here. That 1 stands for very poor. Okay, very poor. Let's say 2 stands for poor. Okay, so that we can put everything into context. 3 stands for good, right? 4 stands for very good. 5 stands for, sorry. 5 stands for very, very good. Okay.
Excellent.
Excellent will be 6. Okay. And then because we have 1 to 6, okay. So let's mix 6 Excellent. Okay. So now we can put everything into context. Okay. So let's create a factor for the performance rating. Okay, because currently the performance that we have here is not a factor. Okay, the performance, this one is not a factor. How do we check it out? We can use so verify if data is a factor. So we can use the function is.factor. Okay, is.factor, and then put performance. Okay, so let's run it. Performance is capital P, sorry. Let's run it again. So you see that it is false. It is not a factor. Okay, so now we know that performance is not a factor. We need to factorize it. Okay, let's see days. Days is also not a factor. Okay, let's yeah, and then change this one to days, and then check if days 2 is a factor. Days, that one is also false. Okay, let's say location. Location 2 is not a factor because we've not factorized it yet. So location. So let's create a factor for all these data types. So let's create a factor for the data type, for the categorical data. Okay. So the first one, let's do it for the performance. So let's name it performance dot, or let's make it performance factor. Or what do you reckon? Something that is simple. Okay, let's underscore F. Okay. So let's factorize it. So the function is factor. Okay. The function is factor. What are we factoring? We are factoring performance. It's an object. Now, the performance, we have what levels do we have in terms of the way it's been structured? Okay. So we have let me see here. Per what we have here, we have 1, 5, 6, 4, 3, 2. So the levels. So we have an argument within the factors, okay, called levels. So the levels that we have within these factors are, so we create a vector here. So we have 1. So the 1, you put it in inverted commas because it's a test, okay? It's not a number, okay? And then we have, let me bring it here. Let me copy it here so that we can follow. Let me just make a comment here and put it here. So we have 1, 1, 5, okay? So the levels. Six, isn't it? Let's come down a bit. 6. And then we have 4. Then we have 3. Then we have 2 and 1, isn't it? One. Okay, so we have created. In fact, let's rather bring it here so that we can mix it more. Okay, so now we can factorize this. So this is good. So these are the levels. Actually mean by 1, 5, 6. Okay, so this is done by creating the labels. Okay, so create labels. So this will be a character vector. Okay, so 1 means very poor. So we are mapping the levels to the labels so that R will know exactly what you mean. 1 is very poor, isn't it? Okay, so we put that in inverted commas. That's 1 is very poor. Okay. 5 was very, very good, isn't it? So very, very good. Let's come down. 6 is excellent. Okay. 6 is excellent. 4 is very good. 4 is very good. Yeah. 3 is good. And then 2 is poor. Okay. Poor. And then 1 is very poor. So if you check, you will see that we have mapped the levels with the labels. Okay. So it's very poor. Okay. So now let's run this. Okay. So now when we check, we want to check if performance is a factor, is dot factor into brackets performance. Let's see what it tells us. So it's true. So now we have factorized it. Okay. Let's do that quickly for, let's create a factor for the days. Okay. Let's create a factor for the days. So the days, we already have them in well, so we already have them Monday, Tuesday, and so forth. Okay. So let's create factors for the days. Please spare me about 10 minutes for us to finish this, okay? All right, so the days to, so we create days underscore F, yeah? So factor, what do you want to factor? We want to factor the days, okay? We want to factor the days. And the days, normally the Sunday will come before Monday, before Tuesday, before Wednesday, and so forth. Okay, so with that, we can say that though it's a categorical variable, it is ordered. Do you agree with me? So if you have, let's say, shortest, that one is also ordered. Okay, so we have ordered and unordered, okay, or nominal. All right, so here we can say that there's an argument to verify whether it is ordered or not. So here, ordered. Okay, we can say that it is true. Okay, we can say that it's true. Sorry. So now it will order it as such. Okay, so let's factor this. So this one, there's no need to map it because it's already in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it is not like it is 1, 2, 3, where now we want to convert to Monday, Tuesday, and so forth, like we did for the performance rating. So here, this one is fine. So let's run this. So we factorize the day. Let's factorize the location. So the location underscore F. Okay, let's factor location. As for location, whether it is Accra or it is in Tamale or wherever it is not ordered, okay? It is not ordered, though it is a categorical variable. One does not come before the other, okay? So for the ordered argument, okay, we can say that this one is false. Yeah? So let's run this. So now we've created a factor for the days, location, and then performance. Okay. Now let's create a data frame. Now this data frame that we're going to use, we will use the ones that are ordered, okay, that are factorized. Okay. So let's create another data frame. Another data frame that takes into consideration the factors that includes the factors. Okay. So the first one we did was my sales. So let's make this my sales too. Okay. So we create the data.frame. All right. Now, what are we putting in there? The sales ID, let's factor that one too. Do we have to factor that one? We are not going to use it anyway, but okay, let's leave it. Okay. Let's factor it. Sales ID. Okay, so let's create a factor for that. So take the sales ID, the original one. Okay. Ordered. This one, whatever I choose, it will not really matter. So let's make it false. And then we run this. Okay, so our data frame, we have sales ID. We are choosing the one that has been factorized. Okay. The days, let's pick the ones that has been factorized. Okay. Let's pick location. Location, the one that has been factorized. Let's pick sales. Sales stays the way it is. Okay. And then performance. Performance, the one that has been factorized. So let's run this. So now we've created another data frame, but this time around, we have factorized the days, the location, sales, and then performance. Okay. So let's call my sales 2. Okay. So it gives us similar information like, so let's do my sales, the first one that we did too. Okay. So it's basically the same information, isn't it? Okay. It's basically the same information, but let's go to summary and then you see the difference. Now, when we go to summary, we've done the summary for sales already. So let's do for sales 2, my sales 2. Okay. When we run the summary, now you see that this one is making much more sense. Okay. My sales 2. See, now the sales ID, it is not giving us the mean. Okay, so each ID is one, it's distinct on its own. Monday to Wednesday, they appear once. So if, let's say, Friday appeared twice, it will show Accra, okay, appear once. Okay. Now the sales, so you see that the first one that we had, let's compare this with when we had my sales, summary, my sales, and then you see the difference. This. So we change this to my sales. Yeah. Let's compare it side by side. So you see that the first one, my sales ID, it was giving us the mean of the ID, which is not true. It doesn't make sense. Okay. But when we factorize it, you see that it didn't give us any mean. Okay. Everything was appearing once. Okay. Now, the Monday to Friday, when we hadn't factorized it, it was just telling us that it was character. It didn't give us information on the number of days that each of them appeared. Okay. But when we factored it, have you seen that the Monday to all the days are showing? So supposing we had, another entry for Saturday will show too. That means that it appears twice. Okay, so this one makes more sense. Okay, the location too, all of them appeared once. Okay, but when we compare it with the my sales, the one which had not been factorized, you see that it was just saying that it was character, no insight in the information. Okay, now, so you see the difference. So for performance, for my sales, it was just giving us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, when we come to my sales 2, you see that now performance is giving us that very poor has appeared twice, very, very good appeared once, excellent appeared once, good appeared once, and so forth. Okay, so but when we hadn't factorized it, you see that the performance rating, it was calculating the mean, it was seeing it as a number. So it was calculating the mean and then the median and so forth, which does not make sense. Okay. So you see the essence of factorizing your categorical variables. It helps you with your analysis. So when we come to data visualization, if you haven't factorized your stuff, when you get to where you want to visualize your data, you run into problems. Okay. So that is the essence of factors. Please, any question? Any question? Yes, Delasi.
Please, I wanted to copy your code and then I lost you at a point. So I wanted to know if you could scroll up so I could get it.
Okay, no problem. But I'm going to send you this anyway, so you don't have to worry too much.
All right.
I'm going to send you this. Okay, so you don't have to worry. But if you want to, where did you lose track? Which line?
Yeah, I think, can you go up a bit?
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. So please calm down.
Yeah.
Just where you were. No, like please calm down.
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Okay.
Thank
Don't
you.
worry. I'm going to send it to you, so you should have
All
it.
right.
Okay, Christiana, please.
Please. I don't know. I want you to take a look at my screen for me to help me.
Okay, Christiana, go ahead.
Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, Christiana, I can see your screen.
Please, when we go to with the factor, creating the factor. Yeah, I didn't when I did mine. This is how I if you look at the console, my data frame is different from that of your data frame.
How come?
And please, you kindly have a look at it. Where
Okay.
the mouse.
No, so okay, so let's go to your editor.
Okay.
How different is this from mine?
That's what you
said
see.
it's
Yours
different.
was in a nicer frame.
Okay, so
Please.
let me see. So you have your location. Okay, so come down. Where did you create your factors?
It's with the edit or the console.
No, do everything in your edit. As for the console,
Yes.
it's just giving you the output. So
Yes, you are asking me a question. That's what.
Okay. So I'm asking that where did you create the factors? So when I say where did you create? You created it in the editor. As for the console, it's just giving you the output. So you don't create
Yes,
it
I
in
did
the
edit
output.
that.
So if you can go down a bit and then let me see where you created the factors in your editor.
Okay.
No,
Please,
go down. Go down.
from here.
Go down.
Okay. Please, are you okay?
So this is where you created your factors. Okay, so let's see the days, location. Okay. All right. So did you run all this? Did you run line 59 to 61? Did you run it?
No, I haven't run that, but initially when we started, that's why.
Yeah.
When we started the creating of factors.
Yes.
Your from your console, the answers it gave you.
Yeah.
You see, mine is different. I wanted to take a snapshot of it, but I couldn't. It's different. So when I try to continue, as at where we ended now, for that one, it's giving me errors. So this is where, yeah.
So no problem. Let's see where the error began. Let's see where the error began. So the error began. No, calm down.
Immediately after, I should come down. Okay.
Yes, calm down. Let's see the output. So the error began when you were creating the your factors for the performance. Okay.
Yes.
So you have the levels, and then you have the labels. Okay, let me see how you created it. Go to the editor.
Please, yes.
So yes, so after you created the levels, there should be a comma before the labels come. Okay. Line 54. You see, you've created the levels, and then you put them in a vector. After that, there should be a comma after the bracket, after the end of the bracket. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There should be a comma. Yes. So let it come down a bit. Press enter. Press enter. Press enter on your system. There's no need to scroll it. So press enter.
Okay.
Put the cursor. No,
anyway.
don't run it. Don't run it. Just put your cursor before the labels.
Before the labels, okay.
Yes. And then press enter. Good. So that it comes down. So you don't need to be writing to the other side.
Okay.
So you labels, and then you have very poor, very poor, very, very poor. Okay, excellent, very good. Okay, so run this again. Let's see. Yeah, so this is running now. Okay, so let's go. So check it whether it's a factor. Run it line 57.
57, okay.
Yeah, run it. Yeah, so it's true, it's a factor. So let's see. Your days to yeah, so your days is good. Location is good. Sales ID. Okay, so let's see your sales ID. I think you ran an error. So run 62 again.
62.
And just relax. Don't worry. I'll take you through. So 62, run it again. So here you have an error. Okay.
Okay.
So let's see sales ID. Are you sure the factor, the sales ID that you have in there is a small s after the factor, line 62?
Yes, sir.
Line 62. Shouldn't it be a capital S? Yes, that one. Yes, run it again. Yes, now it's running. Okay. All right.
Yes.
So now let's see you are creating a data frame. Okay, so data.frame. So you brought your sales, days, location, sales, performance. Okay, let's run that one too. So your days are not found. Did you factorize your days? So yes, you have, so
So the days,
yeah, so the days that you use in factoring, you use a small d, line 60. Okay, so if that is the case, no. What you have there is correct, the capital D.
Okay.
But the object that you created, the beginning, D_F.
Yeah, yeah.
They use a small d. So if that is the case, then use small d in your data frame.
Okay.
Yes, so come and use small d here. Good. And then run it.
Location too has to be small L.
Location, it's also small L.
No, wait, you still have problems with the days factors. So
the days has no S.
So yeah, yes, the days has no so please check your days.
The days.
No. Oh, Christiana, take your time. So the days that you use in creating a line 60, you wrote day_F. Meanwhile, when you are creating the data frame, you've written days. So repeat the same thing that you use in creating the object. Yes. So it should be day. Remove the S. Yes. Now run it. So whatever you use in creating the object is what you should do. Did you run the? No, the error is for another thing. Run the days. So the day is fine. So let's look at your location. Now your location that you've written here, your location, you've used capital L. Meanwhile, when you were creating it in line 61, use small l. Please, R is very, very case sensitive. Okay, so if that is the case, use small l in the data frame that you are creating. The location_F, it should be small l, line 65.
Line 65.
Yeah? Okay, run it again. Okay, so you are good to go. Okay, so run the rest. You should. Yeah.
This is how it came, right?
Yeah. And then check the summary.
And back to my initial question, the first one. Just as this one looks nicer like yours, the first one I showed you, it didn't look like that.
Yes, because you made mistakes in the
All right, thank you very much, sir.
Okay, all right, you're welcome. Yes, please. I think we have finished, but I'll stay behind. So those of you whose stuff worked, that's fine. You are free to go. But I'm still here. So if you have any extra issue, then because your next class is starting at 1 o'clock. So I'm here to. If you have issues, I will deal with it. But if everything is fine with you, that's fine. We will meet next week.
Hi, sir. Please, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Please ask a question.
Please, can you answer someone's questions? I want to bring out something. I spotted something. I wanted to ask a question. So please, can you answer someone's question else, and I'll come back again.
Okay, good. Please, anybody else?
Yes, sir. I'd
Yes,
like
Nancy.
to answer this.
Okay.
So you see, when you type in either the functions or whatever, have you noticed this hovering visualization? I don't know.
Okay. What exactly do you mean? If you can share your screen to tell me what you mean.
Okay, of course. Let me share my screen and then. A moment, please.
Okay.
Okay, so can you see?
No, not yet.
How about now?
Yes, yeah, okay. I can see now.
Okay, let me just demonstrate. Let's say I am calling my function, I'm calling good. This one,
Yeah.
the one I'm hovering on.
Mm.
You see how orderly it visualizes the thing even before it passes the results in the console?
Yeah.
Is there a way to project this visualization?
Yes. So right, so the my sale, that one was for my sales too, yeah. So
yes, sir.
Right, view, capital V. You can write
So
that.
should I cancel what I am typing?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you
cancel
can,
it
if you want to view
All
that
right.
on this phone. So capital
And
V,
type view.
no,
Capital
capital
V.
V.
All right.
Yeah, and then my sales too. It will open another tab for you.
Oh, okay.
My sales too. Yeah. Run it. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, so you can go back to the untitled.
All right.
Please, when you are
I'm
done,
sorry.
you can go to file and then save it with any name that you wish to use. Okay.
All right.
Before
Thank you very much.
you close your R. Okay, you are welcome. Yes, please. Yeah. Any other? Giving praise. Yeah.
Sir,
Go ahead.
please, I would like to get a copy of what you did because you were very fast and someone
Yes, I
like me,
said
I'm
that I will
new to it.
I will send my R stuff to you, so you will get everything. I have said
Okay,
it
please,
already.
because I couldn't catch up, so I want to do it step by step and see if I'll
Giving
be able
praise.
to
I
get
will
it.
send it. Don't worry.
Okay.
You don't have a problem. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So when you receive it and then you run it, you have issues. You can always get in touch with me, and then I'll explain.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Please, any other person? Any other person? Any other person? Are we all okay?
Hello, Osei.
Yes, Christiana.
Please, the my sales too view you showed Nancy. Did
Yes.
you run it or you just click enter?
So view into bracket my sales 2 and then you run it. If you don't run it, it will not execute.
Okay. So my question is I'll bring it later on.
No problem, Christiana.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. So yes, so everyone, please, everything that we've learned yesterday and today, I know it's a bit, for some of you who do not have any coding background, it's like a big leap. Okay, so please, throughout the week, go through it, practice, because next week we are going to build upon it. Next week I'm coming to Kumasi, so so I'm sure Accra people will link by WhatsApp, and then the following week we will do it in Accra. So please practice, okay? And if you have an issue, you can always, you have my contacts. You can always send me a WhatsApp. Introduce yourself. I know who you are, and then I can help. Yeah? Okay. Richard, please go ahead.
Mr. Prince, I want to ask, what you will be teaching in Kumasi next week? Is it the same thing you will teach in Accra the following week?
No. So Accra people will join. Other than that, you wouldn't cover enough ground. So Accra people will join via WhatsApp, but I will be face to face in Kumasi. And then when I come to Kumasi, Kumasi people will join by WhatsApp. Okay.
Okay.
So next week we are all coming to class. Just that Kumasi people will see me physically, and then the following week Accra people will see me.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Any question?
Hello, sir.
Yes. Yeah.
But then if the Accra people wants to come in face to face,
Yes.
they're allowed, right?
You can come.
Okay.
If you want to have a double dose, you can come. Okay.
Okay.
So you'll be coming to Kumasi?
Yes, I'll be coming to.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Any other? Any other?
Hello.
Yes, Muslim.
Nana, please. I'm trying to view mine, but I'm not getting the table as earlier shown.
Okay, let's see what you have.
Can you please see my screen?
Yes, your view is capital V.
The view is capital V.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
Happy? Okay, all right. Yes, any other issue? Okay, all right. So have a very wonderful week, and if you have any issue, please just let me know. I'll be glad to help. Okay. So enjoy the rest of your day, and take care and stay blessed. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you. You too.